I'll feel safe then. I'll come back towards you, Vijay.
Yes. Sort that out.
Oh,
Right.
this looks a big one.
Now,
Dead man's chest.
here we have the dead man's chest, and it's locked today because, look, there's something even more venomous in here. In fact, if we are to be truthful, this animal has been responsible for killing people in the past.
Oh,
okay.
it's the centipede.
Yes, this is a centipede, but it's not the Spanish centipede, the small one that we get here, Scolopendra cingulata. This is a far more venomous specimen called Scolopendra subsinipes. Okay. Now, as I said, they have a bite that is medically important. And these specimens will also grow larger, but they are very aggressive.
Okay,
and you can see that this one is biting my tweezers there with this venomous poison claws or fangs, and you can just see the poison claws there.
Yes, I can. Ooh, not very nice at all. So you'd find those in
These would be found
Africa.
in the tropics. This, although we get various large Scolopendra in Africa, this one in particular is from the island of Sumatra.
It's coming out.
Okay.
It's determined to get out, isn't it?
These are extremely good escape artists, and that is why we had the dead man's chest locked up.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better?
No,
Karen?
you haven't closed it yet. That's it.
Okay.
I heard it close.
That's fine. And we put this in as well, just in case it opens the lid.
Okay, so they are that clever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And strong. If you just check that, Linda.
Okay.
Right. Let's have a deep breath and move on to something completely safer.
Okay, then.
Okay. Here we have an interesting specimen of a praying mantis, which I can handle safely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this praying mantis is scientifically known as Empusa pennata. This species is recognized by this appendage or horn-like structure that it has on the head.
Oh, yes.
And hence why we call them the alien head mantis.
It definitely looks like an alien.
Now, this
doesn't it?
mantis is also found in Africa, as are several other species. But interestingly, this mantis is also found in Spain.
Oh, right. So we can
So we
walk
have
in the
it,
countryside,
yes.
and,
So
or
if
even
you
in your garden,
If
maybe.
you spot one of these, you've seen it on this shore. These wonderful creatures feed on flies. And I'm not a huge fan of flies, so that's a wonderful thing, because I'm living in my country house at the moment in Antequera, and there are so many flies around, and these guys, I just let them go on the house plants in various different parts of the house, and they keep the flies under control.
Okay.
So they're very helpful
Useful.
to our environment.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't mind a few of those in my patio.
I'll get you some.
Thank you. Especially for the mosquitoes as well.
Yes, exactly. There you go, Linda.
And any more surprises?
That's it for
Okay.
as far as the live animals go. We thought that would be enough excitement for you today.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And we do have a few pictures as well, a few images. And Vijay is going to be talking to us about the different images that come up, different animals. And of course, it starts with the jungle path. That's starting off on
yes,
your
well,
safari.
here we have one of our jeeps, and basically in Africa, when you're going through the jungles and exploring wildlife, you need a four-wheel drive. Cannot do without it.
No, this is true. And of course, the next one is Africa.
And I must say, if you're going through Johannesburg, a guard with a gun will also be a little useful.
Helpful.
Yes.
And if we could have our next photo now coming up, and I think it's just that's the one.
There we go. Here we have
itself.
a wonderful view of the Serengeti during sunset. Beautiful place.
Yeah.
And it just makes you want to go there now, doesn't it? I'm going to have to pack a suitcase and go there next week.
You'd find all sorts, wouldn't you?
Yes, exactly.
And our next one is elephant. Yes, there we
Yes,
go. But an angry one.
Yes, here we have an angry elephant, again in the Serengeti National Park. Elephants are a beautiful subject for wildlife photography, and they have various different types of temperament when you come across them, and males such as this can be rather aggressive. Here we have something interesting. This is a pink elephant, if you notice, a baby pink elephant, and that's because it's an albino. They are quite rare, and it is quite unlikely that it will survive to adulthood because of the pigmentation of the skin and the eyes being a lighter color. They will usually become damaged with the sunlight, the intense sunlight and heat, and become blind before it becomes an adult.
Oh, Oh, it's a shame. And I think, the white rhino.
And here we have obviously one of the big game animals, the white rhino, and a trip to Africa would never be complete without capturing one of those.
No, this is true. They're, are they, I suppose they are, they're very, very dangerous, aren't they?
Oh yes, I mean, the wonderful thing about the rhino is it's a primitive creature that, you know, comes from the land of beasts that roamed before mankind. Well, Africa itself is a primitive land, and it's obviously they are territorial and they can be dangerous because they are an aggressive animal, but apart from that, they are omnivorous, grass-eating animals, so they don't go around killing us or other animals for food.
No, only to protect their young, probably.
Yes.
And our next one is a wildebeest.
Yes, and here we have the wildebeest running on the Serengeti plains. Again, wildebeest are pretty big actually when you're close up to them. When you're in the jeep and you're not that far from them, they're pretty big, but they never look that big when they're in herds on the nature programs, do they? They just look like cows.
And they're going so fast as well, so you get a different perspective.
Exactly, and they can be quite aggressive actually.
And our next one is Dr Venom, it says, and it's an insect. Oh,
well,
yes,
there's me. The one behind the monstrous face is me, by the way, just in case you're going to make any mistakes. And there we have a katydid that I'm collecting in Africa, and these are a large grasshopper type insect that can give you a nasty nip.
Okay.
If you get the wrong end of it.
Okay. I wouldn't be going anywhere near them. And I think the next one is a hippo.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes, hippos are another beautiful mammal that I do love observing in Africa. Again, hippos have this kind of reputation of being fat, rather lumpy, slow animals, but they're not. They're actually, on land, they can be fast moving and they are more of a danger than lions in Africa.
Oh, right. Really? Yeah.
So when you see fresh hippo tracks, it's generally advised to stay away from that area.
Okay. Okay then, definitely. With a mouth like that, yes. And I think our next one is hyena. Hyenas.
Yes, here we have a picture of a hyena. These are hyenas feeding. Hyenas are again one of those wonderful creatures which you cannot tell whether it's a dog or a cat, but it's a wonderful beast in itself with a ferocious appetite.
It looks ferocious there.
And interesting sound to match, the laughing hyena. And hyenas just bring this wonderful tapestry of Africa together when it comes to the big animals. I do love hyenas as well as the other big game in Africa.
Yeah, they're definitely full of character, aren't they? Definitely.
And here we are looking at some of the locals. These are the neighbours. And various different tribes live in Africa, and they have their various rituals and dances. And here we are looking at a shaman doing one of his various different types of rituals. Again, the world of animals and the natural world and humans is mixed together in Africa with this mixture of magic and all sorts of wonderful and weird stories and shamans and witch doctors that you get in Africa.
And obviously, a lot of them just healing you with natural things from the jungle.
Well, interestingly, the baboon spider, which I showed you, is used by the spider divinator. And spider divinator is a kind of a witch doctor, and what he does is you go to him to find out what's going to happen in the future, etc., like psychic. And he has these cards made of leaves with marks on them. And he puts a few of these cards, like tarot cards, I suppose you could say, onto the floor just outside the entrance of the burrow of the baboon spider, then puts a pot over it. And then a few minutes later, he moves it, and the spiders move them around.
Oh,
really? So depending on the position of the cards, he tells you what's going to happen in the future.
Vijay is also going to come on to Mihas Today now in English on Radio Mihas International, 107.7 FM, 3 o'clock. It's always on 3 till 4. And he'll be taking a bit of a different tack and giving you some more interesting information. And for news and views, don't forget, tune in at 2:05 tomorrow. And we have David Searle, our legal advisor. And so until tomorrow then, hasta mañana.